Hey everyone, thanks for joining Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and in today's video I'm going to be playing through a brand new game coming to Kickstarter called Factions of Soul. This is a new one from Mark IV Games. It is a 1 to 4 player game that takes roughly 1 to 2 hours to play, and is a competitive game, which means that players are going to be competing throughout the game to gain and complete different objectives and all kinds of other things that are going to get them victory points. At the end of the game, the players are going to total up all of those points, and the player that has the most will be the winner of the game. So in the game itself, Mark Megacore has decided it is time for him to move on, and his massive corporation, he needs someone else to run it. So that's where you come in as the players. You're going to be playing different factions, trying to prove you have what it takes to take over his corporation. And so in the video itself, I'm going to be playing through the game, showing you the first and third rounds of the game, as the game is played over 3 rounds, to give you a good idea how this game plays and give you an idea if this is one you want to back on Kickstarter. As always, if you find these videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider that like button and subscribing to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so I can continue to grow, be able to produce this content. If you want to get notifications anytime I release new videos, also consider giving that notification bell a ring, and that'll let you know when I drop new stuff. Now, I do want to point out that all the materials you see here are prototype materials and are subject to change, and will look a lot better in the final production copy of the game. So let's go ahead and head to the table, and we'll see how this one plays. Alright, so before moving into the game, there's a couple of things I'd like to go over real quick. So first off, let's talk about the factions that I've selected to use for this game. Again, I'm going to be playing a 2-player game, so each player is going to control their own faction. So first off, I have the Android Resistance on one side, and with these guys, they got a really cool ability. So at the beginning of your movement, if you have 2 ships on the board, you get to take 1 ship off the board, and when you move your remaining ship, you're going to leave a copy of the ship where on its original location. So these guys are actually going to be using 2 ships, and as they move around the board, they're basically going to more or less be able to kind of teleport. So I could go out to one of these way out places, and then the next turn I can start back where I was at the beginning, not having to spend all that energy to get back to where I was or shoot over to some other area. So that's going to be really handy for them and will allow them to really maneuver around the board, gaining some of these farther off places fairly quickly or throughout the game. So on the other side, I have the Deep States, and they have a really interesting ability as well. So at the start of the game, they are going to gain a tech from Uranus, and so I'll go ahead and handle that real quick. And they have the orbital computing. So this one is after using an adjacent planet, you may teleport to any other sector adjacent to that planet. So that could be really handy. And then they are allowed to have up to 2 techs, where normally each player can only have 1, and 4 secret objectives. And at the start of each round, I gain an Explorer card. So let's go ahead and pull one of those. And I have Stoners. So these guys, this counts as 5 Explorers and can only be placed on a bountiful exoplanet. And so that comes to the second point. So with this, so of course this is a competitive game, so you're going to be competing with fellow players to gain victory points and have the most at the end of the game. So normally you're going to keep a lot of this information hidden from those other players, keeping it into your hands and so on. But for this game, obviously I want you to see what's going on. So I'm going to keep this stuff on the table so you can constantly see what's going on. But I just want you to keep that in mind so you know how this is all working. From there, let's get into the game. So the game itself is going to be played over 3 rounds, and each round is broken down into 2 phases. The first phase is going to be for the players to move around the board, spending their energy to do different actions and take their turns. And then once all the players have passed, then they're going to move into the upkeep phase of the round, where they're going to handle the parts of that or the steps of that. From there, then it'll move on to the next round. And again, this is going to be played over 3 rounds. At the end of the 3rd round, the players are going to total up their victory points, and the player that has the most will be the winner of the game. So from there, let's move into the player's turn. And so the Android Resistance is going to be the starting player with the starting player token, or the first player token. And during each player's turn, that player has 3 steps that the player is going to do in order. The first one is trading, and this is just an optional step where you can potentially trade with other players. Now, of course, both players have to agree to the trade, but you are able to trade a number of different things that you have at your disposal with other players. Once you've completed that step or chosen not to, then you're going to move on to the movement step of your turn, where you're going to get to move around the board. Each space you move into, depending upon if it's in the inner ring or outer ring, you're going to spend energy cubes, 1 for any space in the inner ring and 2 for any space on the outer ring. Now this also is going to be added, or you're going to be adding additional cubes if there's cubes already there. So for example, let's go ahead and say that my purple player here, or the android resistance, wants to move into one of these spaces in the inner ring. It would cost him 1 energy. But let's go ahead and say that now red wants to move into that space. It's going to cost her 1 cube plus an additional cube or number of cubes based on what is already there. So if she wanted to move into this space, it would cost 2 cubes. And then if purple wanted to move back through that space, it would cost 4 cubes. So it's going to constantly be adding more and more to these spaces as the players congest them with their trash or junk, more or less, as they kind of talk about in the rulebook. So with that, once you've completed your movements, then if you are adjacent to a planet, you can carry out an action on that planet. And so this is, once you've completed that, then your turn is over and it'll move to the next player. Now you must either move or take an action during your turn, or you can choose to do both. But if you are unable to or choose not to do either one of those during your turn, you must pass. And at that point, you're going to continue passing turn after turn that it gets to you until all the players have passed. And at that point, then you'll move into the upkeep phase. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and move into the game. So my androids are going to be the first player to go, and they have their special ability that they get to place their second ship out for their movement. And let's see here. So I do have a really good upgrade over at Neptune that gives me 2 battery upgrades. That basically would unlock my battery or my beta battery right away, which would be pretty handy at this point. And with this ability, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to have to spend 2 to get into here, and then 2 for here. And I'll go ahead and leave that up there as my secondary. So it was pretty expensive to get here, but I think it'll pay off. And I'm going to go ahead and use that right away. And this one gains 2 battery upgrades. So I'm going to go ahead and place those in there. And now that completes my beta battery, so now I can hold up to 20 energy for my androids. All right, so at this point, that is the end of my turn. We'll move over to Deep State to start their turn. So with Deep State, with their explorers that they have, they might be good to go after a planet, and Jupiter has a really good bountiful planet right now at 5, so that would work out great for her. So let's go ahead and work my way over there. All right, so I'm already in here, so let's see, I'll go ahead and go here for 1, and then go in there for 2, and then I have to spend 2 to get into here. I don't want to go there because that already has a couple in it, and that would cost even more to get into there. So I'll go there, and then I do have to spend a resource in order to use Jupiter, so I'll go ahead and do that, and that lets me get a planet from Jupiter. All right, so this is a bountiful planet, and this one, when I gain it, I get to choose one of the 2 options. Or I can pass altogether. So this one lets me gain 2 explorer cards. Each other player gains a secret objective, or gain 2 secret objectives, and each other player gains an explorer card. Well, I can hold up to 4 secret objectives, so I think I might choose that instead. I'll gain 2 secret objectives, that way then I don't have to make my way over to Saturn. And then each other player gains an explorer card, so I'll go ahead and draw an explorer card for the androids, and they have the Polar Expedition team. And then I get 2 secret objectives, so let's see what I find here. All right, so I have movement, have energy of your color adjacent to each or every planet. Okay, and then we also have energy, have at least 1 energy of your color in every sector or in the inner ring. Okay, so I have to kind of make my way around that inner ring there. So I'm going to go ahead and place these. Let's go and shift this over a little bit, and I'll place these up here. So again, I can keep track of those. Now again, normally this would be hidden from the other players, so they wouldn't know what secret objectives you have. And then I'm going to go ahead and place these stoners on this planet. That way then that completes that planet. And then at this point going forward, during the upkeep phase, I will receive the benefits of that planet. So I wouldn't get any energy for it, but I do get 2 resources, which is going to help me there. All right, that is the end of my turn. So back over to Android Resistance to go. So I'm going to go ahead and choose to start back over here. And I think I will make my way over to Mars. So I'll go ahead and place that one there. So at the beginning of my turn, I would pick one of the ships to pick up and then move from there. So I'm going to go ahead and shift over here. And I will go ahead and use Mars to be able to spend resources. So I can burn, for every 2 resources I burn, I get an upgrade. All right, so go ahead and cash those in and get 2 upgrades. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take the von Neumann probes. That is going to, and that'll let me unlock that. So it says, when you end your movement on a sector where you could mine an asteroid tile, you may mine it immediately without using an action. So that'll be really handy moving forward. All right, that is the end of my turn. So back over to the deep state to go. And let's see. I don't know if there's much else I want to do there. So it might be worth making my way over to, well, let's make my way over to Venus. I'll keep working on that. So I'm going to go ahead and enter back in over here. So I kick on over there, and I'll go here, there, and there. That way I can kind of start working my way towards that secret objective, having 1 in each space of the inner section there. And I'll go ahead and finish off here, or move here as well. So I have to spend 1 additional cube beyond what's there. So I have to spend 2, and then let's spend 2 to get into here. 1 to get over here. And now I'm next to Venus. I'll go ahead and use 1 more to go there. 1 more to go there. And now I'm still adjacent to Venus, and I can use that after I complete it. So I'm going to go ahead and do the action. That lets me spend any number of resources I have. So I'm going to go ahead and spend all 3 to gain 3 new explorers. So I have willing participants. This is +1 if on an aquatic exoplanet. I have cheerleaders, which is -1 if on a barren planet, and -2 for glass folk if they are on a volatile planet. Okay, so I'll go ahead and add these over here somewhere. And that will finish off my turn. I can use the orbiting computer though, so I have 1 energy left. I might want to stay there. Depends on what he does. If he moves back, then I'm in trouble. But I could still go in there too. So I think I might be okay. Now this is kind of where it comes in as the players. You can, if you're really paying attention, you can start sticking people pretty rough. As I only have 1 more energy, if the Android Resistance kind of moved in here and kind of populated that with a bunch of energy, that could be really detrimental to my players. I basically would have to pass at that point or take a huge hit and take a -20 to basically call for help and get my ship towed back to get some extra resources. All right, so moving back over to the Android Resistance. Again, I have to choose where I want to start. And I think I'll just go ahead and start here. And I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. I will move out to go there, and that requires 2 energy. Yeah. All right, and now that I have my von Neumann probes unlocked, since I stopped in a space that has an asteroid, I'll flip that over. I get 5 resources. The max I can have is 4, so unfortunately the last one just kind of gets wasted. All right, and that will be discarded. That, and then I have one more action I still have my action this turn, so I could visit Mars again and reconvert these back over to upgrades, which I think I will do. So I'll go ahead and cash those back in for 2 more upgrades. And let's see what I want here. The solar sails would be pretty handy to have. I can't get quite enough for that just yet. I'm close though, so I go ahead and I'll do that. And I think that will finish off my turn for now. All right, so that will finish off. So back over to Deep State to go. So Deep State is going to have to spend that 1 energy to move. Well, so let's go ahead and go there. All right, and then as her action, I'm going to go ahead and get a Mercury card. And she is still Alpha battery, so she's going to receive 8 energy. So there's 3, 6, 7, and 8. All right, that'll finish off Deep State's turn. So back over to Android. So I have to choose where I want to go, and I need some energy as well. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start here. I got to spend 4 energy to go there. That's a lot of energy. And my last energy to make my way back to Mercury. All right, so then I will receive, I have beta, so I'm going to get 10 energy, so a little bit better with my beta batteries. So there's 4, 8, and 10. All right. And that will finish off my turn. So moving back over to Deep State to go. So she's got some energy to spend at this point. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and move here. And then there. And then there. And let's see. I've got 1 in each one of these areas. I've got 1 each one there. So I'm just missing that one there. So let's spend the rest to keep working on that. So I don't know if that was probably should have gone here first. Whatever. So let's go ahead and drop her back into here. And then she has to spend 2 to get into there. All right, so she has 1 energy left. At this point, she's going to go ahead and do a Mercury again. So she has Alpha. She's going to get 16. So it's going to fill her all the way back up. So that was really helpful. Now she won't be able, she already had 1 energy, so she'll lose 1 basically, but that's all right. So that's 7, 10, 14, and 16. So she is fully powered back up. All right, that is the end of her turn, and we're back over to the androids to go. So I'm just going to, let's get pretty populated over there. I have 10. I could burn my whole turn to do 1 more draw and get some more energy. Or, no, I think what I'll do instead, I'm going to go ahead and start over here. I will spend 3 more to move into here, and then 2, 2, and 2 to move back over there, and do this one here, which gives me a full 20 for my beta batteries. So that'll fill me all the way back up. So that's 5. 10, 15, and 20. All right. So that takes care of the android's turn. So back over to Deep State to go. So at this point, I could make my way back over to Jupiter. Things are starting to get really congested here, so I have to be careful. And I did meet the requirements of that because I was able to go there. So I will go ahead and have at least 1 energy of your color in every sector in the inner ring, which I have met at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal this because I can do it at any time, and that gets me 7 points. So that's going to put Deep State up 7 victory points right off the bat. Pretty nice. And then for this one, have energy of your color adjacent to every planet. So I've got it all on the inner ring. I just would need Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. And Jupiter. Oh no, I got it on Jupiter. Okay. So that's going to be rough. Those 3 outer planets are quite spread out. And I've only got 16 energy. But, well, let's keep working towards some of that. So I'm going to go ahead and move here. So I have to spend 2. And same here for 2. And then 2 for here. And I might want to stop there at this point. So I think I'll do that and gain some. So I have 4. So that'll give me 4 resources. That's pretty good. And that'll finish off her turn. So back over to the androids to go. Androids. I think I will pop back over to that ship there. And I will spend 3 more resources to go here. And resolve that. So that gives me 5. So I still can only max out at 4. Unfortunately, I've got to get that cargo hold a little bit bigger. Okay. And then I could do Jupiter. I do have the Polar Expedition team. That is -1 if placed on an aquatic. So I don't want to do aquatic. Unfortunately, that would be the one to have. Let me see here. Gain an upgrade. Every other player gains a resource. Gain 2 resources. Every other player gets 3 energy. Well, I'm there. I might as well do it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I get to gain one of these benefits. So I'm going to gain an upgrade, and every other player gains a resource. She's already at max, so that worked out well for me, as the deep state doesn't get anything, and I gain an upgrade. And I could complete my solar flares, which at this point could be pretty handy. So I think I will do that. So I'll go ahead and finish that off. And that will finish off the android's turn. So back over to the deep state. Deep state, let's see. She's going to continue moving, I think. Let's see, what was I? I was going to, I could go to Saturn. So I think I'll do that. Well, let me see here. I don't think I'm going to have enough to make it to these different things, especially with some there already. I have 10 energy left. So I think instead what I'm going to, I'll spend 3 more to stay here and use Mars's ability. So I'm going to spend the 4 resources to gain some upgrades, because upgrades are important. And I think I'm going to get some more batteries. I'm going to upgrade the batteries. All right. And then as my orbital computing, I could teleport to an adjacent space of that. So I do need to, well, I think it might be better just to stay there for the moment, and then I could probably shoot over there and get some more resources and make my way back over to Jupiter at some point here. As this one is what? That is a barren planet. All right. So yeah, I think that's it for deep state. So back over to the androids to go. Now that I have my solar sails, I can move to the outer areas for only 1 energy if they're empty. So I think I'm going to start up here. So this one gets removed this time. So I'm going to go there, there, and there to go to Uranus and gain a new thing. So let's see what we have here. Anytime you may burn 1 resource to gain 3 energy. Immediately after using Jupiter, you may burn 2 resources to gain an exoplanet at the market. Once per round, you may teleport into an adjacent sector as part of your movements. Not bad. AI Singularity. That sounds like something that would make sense for me. So once per round, when you use Mars, you may burn 3x resources to gain 2 upgrades. So every 3 resources I spend, I get 2 upgrades. That sounds wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and gain that. The rest of these will be returned to the sector over here. And I think that will finish off my turn for the androids. All right, so that finishes off them. We are back over to Deep State to go. And let's see here. Deep State. So I will spend 2 to move over. So go to this asteroid here and flip it over. So I'm going to get 3 resources. All right, and I think that'll be it. So back over to the androids. Where do I want to go? Let's see. Well, I've got more resources, so I think I will make my way back over to Mars to cash those in. So I would need to spend 4. As there's 3 there already. All right, and then since it's getting close to the end of the round, I will go ahead and use the AI Singularity, because again, I can only use it once per round. This lets me, for every 3 resources I spend, I gain 2 upgrades. So basically, I don't have to spend 1 extra resource. So I'm going to go ahead and do a cargo hold for 1. Actually, I think I'm just going to do 2 cargo holds. That way, then I can start holding a little bit more on that end of things. That's it for that player. So back over to Deep State to go. Deep State is running low on energy. Can I make it back at this point? So I need to spend 2 to get here. And I'm going to have to spend 2 to get there. She's only got 3 energy left. Let's see. I might be hosed, so she might have to pass. I could get to Venus. No, I can't. I'd need 4 resources to get to Venus. I could spend a resource to convert over to energy, which is, I think, what I'm going to have to do to get the one extra energy for that. And I think I will, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and spend those 4 energy to move to Venus. And I'll trigger that. So I'm going to go ahead and gain, well, I might as well spend the last 2 and just gain 2 more explorers. So I've got the construction crew, cannot be placed on an aquatic planet, and the celebrities +2 if placed on an exoplanet with another explorer. Okay, so I've got plenty of explorers at this point. And then part of that, I have the orbital computing, lets me move to any adjacent sector to that planet. So I'll go ahead and shoot over there. That way then I can get some more energy next turn. All right, that will finish off Deep State. So back over to Android Resistance. And starting to clog things up here. So I got 3, 6, 9, 10 energy left. Would be kind of nice to be able to finish that off. That way I can get some resources. Venus is pretty bogged down, and I've got a ton there. All right, so what do we got to do here? So we've got 7 there, so I'd have to spend 8 to move there. Whew. Might be cheaper to kick around at this point. So 2 to go there, 2 to go there, that's 4. 8, 10. Get me back to Mars, or Mercury. So I guess that's what I'll do. That way, then at least next turn I'll be able to get some energy. Or, no, I'll be able to do it this turn. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start here. So 2 there, 2 there. And then I have to go 4 to get in here. And then 2 to get into there. All right. And then I will go ahead and activate that. Some beta batteries, I get 10 energy. So there's 8 and 10. All right. So that will be that. And okay. So that'll be the end of the android's turn. So back over to Deep State to go. So Deep State needs some energy, so they're just going to burn their turn to draw energy. They are no, they do have beta now, so they're going to get 15 energy. So that was a good pull. So there's 4, 6, 9, 12, 15. All right. And it might be worthwhile to, well, I need some resources first. So let's go ahead and shoot up here. So there's 2, 4, 6, and 8, all the way up there. All right, and 4 more resources. There's 2 and 4. All right, so that finishes off Deep State's turn. Back over to Android to go. I will go ahead and spend 4 to move into there. And spend the 1 resource I have to activate Venus and get a card. So this is can only be placed on a barren planet. Not what I was hoping for, but it's worth 6. All right, so that is all I can do there. I have 6 resources left, so I'm going to need to get some more. All right, back over to Deep State to go. Deep State needs to get back over to Jupiter. Can I do it? Spend 2 and 5 to do that. So, yep, let's do that. So there's 2 there. And 3 here to get me here. And then Jupiter, I'm going to spend a resource to, I guess I'll gain the barren planet. All right, move any planet clockwise 2 steps, or move any planet counterclockwise 2 steps. All right, so let me see if there's any benefit to that. What do I have here for barren? -1 if placed on a barren planet, +2 if placed with another explorer. That's a 5. All right, so if I place this one, that's 4, and -1, so that'd be 6. So I'll go ahead and do that. And that will finish that off, and then I can choose to move a planet if I want to, up to 2 points, both clockwise and counterclockwise, which actually might be pretty beneficial here. So, and I'm going to go ahead and orbit with it, as that is, it does say to move. So I'm going to go counterclockwise 2 spaces, kick me back over there. All right, so that will finish off Deep State's turn. So back over to androids. I've got 6 energy. I have to pull this up because I'm going to go ahead and stay there and try to get some more energy. Gives me 15 at beta, so that will give me all my energy. Okay. So that I'm all filled back up. And that'll finish my turn. Back over to Deep State to go, and I've got 2 energy at this point. the end of my turn, well, I could use the 2 energy to go here and spend 1. Now, let me double check. Okay, so when the last planet got pulled from here, I should have replenished that right away. So let's go ahead and handle that real quick. I did spend that resource, so I get to pull 1 of these. And I do have Bountiful and Barren, and there's 1 of each of those as well. This one would get me an energy, or 5 energy. So that gives me, let me move around a little bit longer. What does this one do? Okay. So yeah, I think I'll take this one, and then I think I can complete that. I will get the 5 energy. Otherwise, I could have gained a resource, but I think the energy is more important right now. And that is a barren planet. So I can use the construction crew. Yeah, let's do that. All right. So that'll complete that planet. All right, and I think I'm good where I'm at. I don't think I need the shift or anything, so that'll move it back over to Android to go. And at this point, I do need some more resources. Can I get there? That's a lot of points. So it would be 4 to get here, and then 4 to get there as well. And 4 to get here. Oh boy. Lots of energy. All right, and then just 1 to get here because I do have the solar sails at this point. And so I will go ahead and at the end of my movement, I get that. Only 2. So that's not so good. All right. So that will finish off my turn there, as I don't have an action to do at this point. So back over to Deep State to go. So Deep State's going to go ahead and spend 2 to shift over here, and then go ahead and take the Jupiter action again. And this time I'll gain that Bountiful planet. So this one says I can burn an exoplanet if you do gain an upgrade, or burn an exoplanet if you do gain 2 secret objectives. I don't think I'm going to burn one. I'm pretty happy with those that I have. And it needs 5. So I'd have to spend both of these. That's a little overkill, but that will start. I'll get some more points out of that. So that's what I'll do there. So I'm just going to go ahead and slide this one up and slide that one under there. All right, so that is the end of her turn. Back over to androids. I got 7 energy left. It would cost me 6 of that to get to that other asteroid belt. And then I'm really low on energy. Ooh. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and start back over here instead. And there's 7 energy there. I don't have enough to even do that. At this point, I think it's probably smarter for me to pass as the androids. So I am going to go ahead and do that. And that will end my turn. So back over to Deep State to go. Deep State has 3 left. And I think yeah, I was close. I missed those 2 planets. There's no way I'm getting this one. I could make my way over to Uranus and get another tech. but that would leave me 1 energy left after that. And I'll get a couple back, but not enough. Even at this point, I might be in trouble. But I think I'm going to go ahead and pass with her as well. So that will end the round, and then we'll move into the upkeep phase. So there's a number of steps that are going to be done in order. So first off, if either player had any secret objectives that they needed to meet at this point, you would go ahead and handle those at this point. Neither one of our players do. So then we have the stellar event. So nobody went to Earth. Otherwise, they could have gone to Earth and voted on one of these different things to go into effect for the next round. So at that point, since nobody went there, I don't think we resolve anything, or technically it would be a tie, which would fall to the first player to decide. So I'll go ahead and say that that's the case, and I'm going to go ahead and choose the top one. So each player may rearrange their upgrades. I think I'm pretty happy with my upgrades where they are, and that player isn't going to do anything either. So that will finish that off, and then we would flip over the new one. So this is for the next round of voting. And since this doesn't have any lasting effect, I'll just go ahead and discard that back to the box. So that finishes off that. Now we gain energy and resources from production. So production is only going to be from the exoplanets that we have explorers on that meet the requirements of that planet. So right now Deep State's doing really well with hers. She's going to get 2 resources from that one, and she's probably going to have way more resources than she needs, and she can only have that max of 4, so she's going to waste the rest. She does get an energy from there. I'm going to pull one from here because these are all going to come back anyways. And then she does get a resource from there, and then she's going to get 2 energy from this one and 1 resource, but she's already at max, and then this one would get her 2 more resources. So she really needs to expand that cargo hold to start being able to take advantage of that a little bit better. All right, so that is then to hers, and then again, this one over here has not completed. The androids have not completed that, so they don't get anything there. Remove all energy from the board, so now all of the energy gets cleared. So I'll go ahead and handle that real quick. All right, then we move the planets counterclockwise. Each one of them move 1 space. And when a planet moves, the player can orbit with it if that player wants to. So that one will move up there. I'm not going to move along with that one. Venus, I will go ahead and move around along with. Do I want to? I'm running low on energy. So I think I actually will go with Mercury instead. All right, so then Venus moves 1, Earth counterclockwise 1, Mars, and then we have Jupiter. I could shift with Jupiter. Sure, I'll go there. And then Saturn 1, and 1. Then I shuffle and reset the asteroids, so I'll go ahead and remove those 2. Shuffle these up. And then place them back out. So there's spots. Okay. Pass leader token, if unclaimed, to the next player, and then refresh the Jupiter and Neptune decks. All right, so I'll discard that one there. I don't have a spot for discard over here, so I'm going to just go ahead and place that over there. So outer room, but we'll have 3 new ones coming out there, and 3 new ones up here. Oh, we got machines, gain +2 faction machine upgrades. Nice. All right, and that is the end of the round. So at this point, then we would move into the next round, starting with the deep state to go. So I'm going to go ahead and take this round off camera, and then we'll be back to finish off the game in round 3. All right, so this is it. Moving back into round 3, there has been a fair amount of development. So with deep states, obviously they've continued working on gaining their planets, their exoplanets. So right now they have 4 bountiful planets and 2 barren planets. So they're going to get some fair points, but if they can add a couple more of the bountiful planets, that will be a big boost for them. I've also been able to complete a couple of secret objectives with them, and they did pick up their second tech, which they are allowed to hold because of their ability. On the other side, the androids have continued working their game where they're trying to complete as many of their upgrades as possible to maximize the amount of points there. On the other end of things, with Earth, this last event that's going to be affecting us this round is the Heat Death. And with this one, each player may only take 8 turns this round, and then they must pass. So I've gone ahead and added 8 of these little blue cubes out here, and so hopefully I'll remember to keep track of that as we progress each round. But there's only 8 rounds, so we have to maximize what we can do, and we'll see who comes out on top at the end. So let's dive back into it with the androids starting off this round. And right away, I do notice up here that we have a resource card for 7 resources, which would be very handy to have. So I'm going to simply just spend 1 cube to move over to this location here. That is going to get me those 7 resources, as that is definitely the one I want to take. And so I'll go ahead and grab that and start filling up my cargo holds. So now I have 8 resources from there. All right, that will end my turn. So going back over to Deep State to go. So at this point, I do need to kind of make my way back over to Jupiter and gain another. Yeah, I do need. So what I'll do is I'll move here to be adjacent to Venus, and I think I'm going to spend 3 resources to draw 3 more Explorer cards. So we have the Cultists, -2 if on a bountiful planet, not what I'm looking for, +3 if on a barren exoplanet, the Aspiring Writers, and the Amish, -1 if placed on a bountiful planet. So definitely not what I was hoping for, but it should be enough to be able to at least meet some of these needs. All right, and then I can use my orbital computing to teleport to an adjacent sector to that planet. So I'll go ahead and go there. That way I'm a little bit closer to Jupiter on that. And that will end her turn. So that will take away 1 down to 7 rounds. Back over to the androids to go. I'm going to go ahead and start here on that one. And then I will move 1, 2, 3, and can't tell if, I think that's 1 sector, so, and 4. So that'll put me next to Mars, or actually, I think I'll go here instead, put me there. That way I can cash that in. That's 5 more, so that puts me up to 10. That maxes me out at 10. And that was, I get to do that as part of my movement, thanks to my von Neumann probes. And I might as well activate Mars. Now the question is, do I use that at this point? That would give me, I could cash in 9 of the 10 that I have, and that would get me 6 versus spending all of them to get 5. I could complete those 2, and I would leave me 3 more, so then I could fill up my cargo hold, or I could keep working on my batteries. Yeah, let's go ahead and use that. So that's I can only use that once per round. So I'm going to go ahead and cash this in. So that's 3, 6, and 9. And then that'll get me 6 upgrades. All right. So I'm going to use 1 to complete my ability there, 2 to complete that one, and then I have 3 more points. So which way do I want to go? Cargo hold probably isn't super important at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and start filling up the batteries. They get me a little bit more points. Okay, so that will finish that off. Back over to Deep State to go. So at this point we need to move. So I'm going to go here and then 2 to get into there. All right, that puts me adjacent to Jupiter. I'm going to go ahead and spend an upgrade or a resource to gain this one. So as a choice, I can either choose to gain a card from the top of Venus, Saturn, or Neptune, Okay, or refresh the Neptune market. Ooh, I'm going to go ahead and gain one from Neptune, as that one's really hard for me to get to, and I gain an upgrade. Okay, cool. And where do I want to put this? I'll go ahead and put it there. I'll keep working on my batteries, I guess. That was pretty good. All right, so then I have to choose one, so I can't place that one on there. And -1. So I guess I'll place these two on there. That'll finish that off. That gets me 5 planets for bountifuls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. All right. That's the end of her turn. That'll finish off round 2. Back over to the androids to go. I need some more resources at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and move from that location there. I need some batteries too. So let's go ahead and go 1, 2, and 3. All right. Mercury, what you got for me? I have gammas. So gamma's going to get me 12. Not the best card. All right. But gets me some more. So there's 4, 8, and 12. All right. That's it for the androids. Back over to Deep State. I do need one more. And I can choose to, as an action, I could choose to spend as an action to reset the Jupiter market, which would probably be good. So yeah, that's what I'll do. So I'm going to go move here because I have to move to be able to take care of that. And then as my action, I'm going to go ahead and refresh it. So those will be discarded and new ones will be placed out. So I need no barren or no bountiful planets. Oh no. All right. And then I could teleport, or yeah, I don't think so at this point. All right, so that's going to finish off their turn. So I'm down to 5. All right, so back over to the androids. I am going to go ahead and just pop back up here. And what do I want to do here? I do have that, so it might not be a bad idea to go to Venus, but I do need some more resources to keep working on that stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and move. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3. I'll go ahead and stop there. And that one's there. And then I get 5. That's great. That was a big help. Okay. That's all I can do at that point. So that'll finish off the android's turn. Back over to there. To Deep State. So Deep State. I'm going to go here. And try it one more time. See if I can maybe get lucky here. All right, come on, Jupiter. So we have volatile, barren, and aquatic. So no luck there. Well, I could get another barren as I already have 2 of those. And, well, I'm still going to need more peoples as well. All right, so we're down to 4 rounds remaining. So the androids are back to go next. I'm just going to go ahead and kick back over there. I'm going to move down 1 and activate that again. So go ahead and spend 1. That'll complete that. I do have a secret objective here. If I only have completed machines at the end of the game, then I'll get 4 extra points. So I think I'm just going to spend 2 to get this upgrade. I'd have to do one more cycle to get that last upgrade. So I think I'm good there. So then it's just kind of finishing stuff out. So I might want to try to complete that one over there. So I need to go get some people. I do have some resources that I could potentially do that with. All right, so that's over to Deep State to go. So Deep State, at this point, I think I need some more energy. So I'm gonna have to spend 2 to go there. And then 1, or actually I do have the temporal manipulator. So can this work in my favor? So, well, I can't use it. Oh, it costs 2 fewer. I was thinking I had something else. Never mind. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go there, and then 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. So just enough to make it. And my action, I do have beta, so just 10 energy. 4, 6, 8, and 10. All right, that will finish off that one's down to 3 rounds. Back over to the androids to go. I do need some peoples, so I'm going to go ahead and go there. I'll spend. Don't I have an ability? So once per round, you may use a planet immediately after another player. At the beginning of your movement, you may teleport to any sector in the same orbital ring. You may not use this machine on asteroid belts. Okay, so I was there, so I'm going to go ahead and kick over here. I'll go there as part of that teleport, and then I'll go ahead and move here as part of that. Question is, did I move my ship from the wrong spot? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I think I was there. I'm going to be pulling it from there anyways. So, all right. Then I will go ahead and spend 3 resources to pull some people, some explorers. All right, so we have the LARPers, +3 if placed on a bountiful planet. The gardeners cannot be placed on a barren planet and cannot be placed with any other explorers with robots. Oh man, unfortunately, none of those are helpful for me as I have a barren planet. They can't be placed together and cannot be placed. Yep. So that was not so good. All right. That's going to finish off the android's turn. Back over to Deep State to go. So I do have some energy at this point. I could kick back over. And get that barren planet. I need to go back to Jupiter at this point. I can teleport to any sector on the orbital ring. Well, that's not going to do me any good right now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go 2 to go here, 2 to go there, and then go here for 1, and I need 3 to go in there from that location. All right, so that puts me next to Jupiter. I'll go ahead and spend the resource to get this barren planet. Well, the question is, which one of these? Yeah. Every player gains an explorer card, or every player burns an explorer card from their hand. Okay, or the volatile planet, as I do have that other guy that I haven't used. Burn 6 energy if you do gain a card from the Neptune market. Nope. Burn 2 resources if you do gain a card from the Neptune market. What do the politicians do? Exoplanet is... Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I will do that then. So I'm going to go ahead and gain this volatile planet instead. I think I spent a resource. I'll spend another one just in case. I can't remember if I did or not. All right, so when I gain this, then I can choose to... Oh, no, I think I did. Pretty sure I did, because I'm going to need that here. So burn 2 resources if you do. Gain a card from the Neptune market. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's going to get me... I'm going to take the politicians. And then the exoplanet this is placed on can be counted as any type. So I'm going to go ahead and place the cultists and these guys with that to complete this, but then I'm going to go ahead and count this as a bountiful planet. That way then I get my extra thing there, so I'll have to remember that. And that will complete her turn. That will finish that off. So we're down to 2 rounds left. All right, over to the androids. What to do at this point? Well, I'm running out of options here. I don't have a whole bunch of energy left. I would love to get some people there. So I think at this point, I will go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and go from that one. I'll move over to this one here and get that. That gives me 3. Okay. So then I can probably make my way over and get that last thing. All right. That's the end of their turn. Back over to the deep state to go. She's only got 3 energy left, and she has no resources at this point. She is in a space with resources, but she does not have the von Neumann thing. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. And she is in the asteroid belt, so I don't think she can use this either. At the beginning of your turn, you may teleport to any other sector in the same orbital ring. You may not use this machine in the asteroid belt. All right, so I cannot use it there. All right, so... I don't know if there's anything else I can do at this point with her. To any sector. I don't think I'd have enough to activate the planet, though, if I did that. I'm out of resources, so I can't do that. So, question is, what can I do? I don't know if there's anything else I can do to get points. I go there for 2 and get there for 1. That's not going to do me any good, though. Well, heck, I think I'm going to have to pass at this point, and then if energy of your color just to every planet. I definitely did not get that. All right, so I think I'm going to have to pass. So that will finish off her turn. Back over to the androids for their final turn. This is it. And I have 5 energy, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4 from that point there. All right, so I have 1 energy remaining. I have 4 resources left. I'm going to go ahead and just try it with 2 and see if I can pull this and see what happens. I need some guys here. All right, so I have the librarians -1 if placed on a volatile planet, and the nudists cannot be placed on a volatile planet. All right, and I don't think I had anything that was beneficial otherwise. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do these 2. That works out to place them on this barren planet. All right, that is the end of my turn there. So that will finish off the androids. Back over to Deep State. They pass, so they have to continue passing, and they gain 2 energy for that. And that is the last cube. So that is the end of the round. So then we move into the upkeep phase, and we only handle a couple steps within this phase before we go into scoring. So we complete any of the end of round objectives. So I did not complete that one, and this one is end of game. So only have completed machines in the game. That is correct. And so I will complete that and reveal it. Then resolve the stellar events. We've already taken care of that, and then gain energy and resources from production. So I'm going to gain 2 resources here from that planet there. Moving down, I get 1 and 1. Over here, I've got 2 energy and 1 resource. Here I get 2 resources. She can hold up to 7 right now. Then I get 1 more there because I'm already at max. I get 1 there, I'm already at max, and 2 and 4 energy. So I do get something at least for that. Okay, and then over to my androids, they get 3 energy and a resource. With that one, they get an energy and a resource. And this one, they get 2 energy and 2 resources. All right, and that is all that we resolve there. So then it is into scoring. So let me go turn to that. All right, so we get 1 victory point. So I'll go ahead and start with Deep State over here first. So we get 1 victory point for every 2 resources in your cargo hold at the end of the game. So I have 2, 4, 6. So I get 3 points there for that. Okay, I have 1 remaining. I'll just go ahead and leave that there. I get 1 point for every upgrade, both in both complete and incomplete machines. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points from that. And then I get victory points for completed machines. So I got that one there. So there's 14, 15, 16, and 3 more for 19. And then I for completed secret objectives. So I'm at 19. That'll be 30 and 34 points. And then finally, for explored exoplanets. So I do have the 2 barren planets. So that's going to get me 3 points. So that was 34, and 3 is 37. And then I did have, for bountiful planets, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one is counted as that for 6, so I get another 25 points. So I have 37 plus 25 is going to give me 62 points. So Deep State ends with 62 points. That is really good. We'll see if that is enough. All right, so moving over to the androids. Androids get 2 victory points for every resource. So I have 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 points there, as I have 6 resources. And then I get 1 victory point for every upgrade. So there's 5, so that's 8, 11, 13, 16, 19, 22, 24, 27, 31. And then I also get points for complete, so that's 35, 37, 38, 40, 43, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. So I'm at 50 already. And then completed objectives, so there's 60. And then for the exoplanets, I can't speak. I get 1 for that, so it's 61. And then for the barren planets, I get 3 points, so that's 64. Well, that was super close. So we ended the game with the Deep State at 62 points and the androids at 64. So anything could have shifted that. Very, very close game. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this video helps you decide on whether or not you want to back this game on Kickstarter. If you have any questions or comments, please post those in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Or swing by the Kickstarter's main comment section and drop the questions you have there. I'm sure the creators would love to hear from you and are more than happy to answer any questions you have. Until next time, I'll see you later.